Holy smokes, Petey.
Wow.
Wow. What a bounce back win that was for the Coyotes.
I think Carcone just got another goal. I think it might be.
I think someone else just got a Gordie Howe Hat trick.
Wow.
Oh my God. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes post-game show. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah here with Petey. We got Craig calling in from Mullett in a bit. We got Danielle behind the Mac. We have so much to freaking talk about today. This feels like the opposite vibe of the last post-game show we did. Petey, normally I say I'm going to throw it to you, but I'm going to do something that the DNVR Avalanche show does.
What do they do?
They spend the first minute of their post-game show doing a 1-minute summary of the game.
Okay.
And I feel like we need to do that because there was so much that happened.
That's a good idea.
So we're going to do a 60-second recap. 28 seconds into the game, Connor Bedard scores an amazing shot. I thought, oh no,
Yep.
this is not going to be good.
Actually a really nice goal.
Less than 2 minutes later, Michael Carcone scores on a Logan Cooley assist. Logan Cooley evens the point. We're so good. We'll talk more about that in a bit. Great. Then Josh Brown, who we all know to be a noted goal scorer, sarcasm, gets on the board. Amazing setup from McBain and Kerfoot. Kerfoot gets his first point of the year.
Fantastic.
Then who else but Carcone for his second of the night from Krausen Bukestad from Minnesota.
In the first period.
That's all in the first period.
First period, 4-1.
So then we get to the second period. Vibes are high. Michael Carcone, hat trick.
3-1. Hat trick.
That
was 4-1.
Yeah, but nobody threw a hat because everyone didn't know who scored the goal. We thought it might have been Cooley. It wasn't. It was Carcone. He gets a hat trick, his first of his career. Great in the NHL. Great for him. Boyd gets the assist. Then you get to the second. You have McBain from Kerfoot and O'Brien. You have Sean Durzi from Carcone and Boyd because Carcone couldn't end at 3 goals. He had to get an assist.
More.
You have O'Brien assisted from McBain and Michelli, which in the third period, the second period, that's a Gordie Howe hat trick for Liam O'Brien, who ends the night with a shiner on his eye. And then in the third period, top it off with an unreal goal from Jack McBain from Alex Kerfoot again, who had 3 points tonight. Jack McBain, with his goal, gets the second Gordie Howe hat trick of the night. And I have a fun nugget later for that. That is
That's a lot.
That felt longer than a minute.
Good night, everybody.
That felt way longer than a minute.
You know what, though?
I felt like we had to do that. But I had to do it for myself.
And it's just ironic because we sat there and barely in our seats at the Mullett, and that Connor Bedard goal was really nice.
Yeah.
It was the kid that passed to him, Korchinski. So Korchinski passed it, right, to Bedard. Combined, those two are 20 years younger than me. Combined. Like the two of them added together are 20 years younger. That means you're old. When you take the two players are 37 years old added together. A 19-year-old passed to an 18-year-old. I was really disappointed. And then you go, and you go, this could get out of hand.
Yeah.
Like you go, uh-oh, because we were talking about it in the seats. Like Ingram didn't look sharp to start the game. You're going, oh, okay, is he going to have one of those nights? That one that Donato puts right behind Ingram in the first period. You go, oh, he wasn't even in the net. How did that not go in? And it easily could have gone the other way for Chicago early. And then just all of a sudden, it just snowballed. And the Horn just didn't get a break. The funniest was O'Brien scored. Horn doesn't go.
Yeah.
Because the ref's waving it off, no goal. Then, after 3 minutes of talking about it, they decided it wasn't a kicking motion. It was a goal. Then the Horn goes. And that's when O'Brien got his
literally, my notes say, O'Brien kicked it in, called off. But the Blackhawks changed their goalie. And then I wrote in all caps, next line, but wait, goal is good.
What a crazy game. What a crazy game at the Mullett today.
Oh, my God. I don't even know where to begin. Where do we begin?
Either. I think you have to begin with Michael Carcone.
Yeah. Walking and talking. Walking and talking bump is real, everyone.
It is. We talked about it last year, and it took a bit. Remember Keller? We did it.
Yeah.
It took him a little bit to heat up. Like it's a thing now. Like if you get 4 points, like days after Walking and Talking is on the air, like it is now a thing. And I would bet the next time we go to the practice, there will be some young men volunteering to be on Walking and Talking, which is a good thing. Yeah, Carcone was, you know what? He's got, we saw it down in Tucson, his ability to put up numbers offensively. The kid's a talented kid. And what he did tonight is what he did in Tucson. He got to the net. That's what, of all the things that happened tonight, I know they didn't get a lot of shots on net. We'll get to the stats in a minute. The one thing that Coyotes did tonight that they haven't been doing is get to the net hard. And I tell you what, McBain is a player that plays like that. Carcone plays like that. It's the guys that are getting to the net that are getting rewarded. O'Brien got to the net and gets rewarded. That was the brightest spot for me tonight, is seeing the Coyotes driving the net. They are going to produce much more offense when they get to the blue paint. And it's funny because the players that play more, I don't want to say perimeter, but rely more on their shots from the outside are Schmaltz and Keller, and they're not on the score sheet.
Yeah. So weirdest part of the whole night for me, every single forward had a point tonight except Keller, Schmaltz, and Hayden. What the heck? Your top line. I mean, it's fine. Like, it's not, they didn't need it tonight necessarily, but when does that ever happen where you have 8 goals and not a single point on your top line?
Yeah, not points.
Not even a point. It's unbelievably bizarre. You have to imagine they're probably like so frustrated.
And honestly, there were a few moments in the first period where I thought that line looked good. They had they were active in the offensive zone and had a couple of looks, and on the power play they looked okay, but I didn't felt like by any means that line drive this team, and usually it does. And I guess that's another thing that you can look to as a Coyotes fan and go, okay, they're getting secondary scoring, and that's good. Yes. So when nights when Keller and Schmaltz don't have it, well hopefully somebody else can.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna go a little out of order because we need to award Dawg and him right off the bat. I think this is the most obvious Dawg and him of the season.
Who is it?
It's Michael. It's Michael Carcone. He's got that desert dog in him. 3 goals, 1 assist, a hat trick. His first hat trick of his NHL career. Absolutely unbelievable. There's now a 4-way tie for most goals on this team, and he is one of them. Sean Durzi is the other now with his other goal tonight. Jack McBain is now the other one with his 2 goals tonight.
So he's got 4?
And Clayton Keller has 4 as well. So it's a 4-way tie.
4-way tie for first.
For 4. And who would have thought you got, like, if I said to you, 4 guys are tied for 4 goals, one of them's Keller, who would you say the other 3 are?
It wouldn't be Carcone, McBain, and
Durzi. No. Crazy.
Wow. All in one night. It just changed. And you got Carcone.
You got Carcone.
And if you know, you know.
You just got Carcone. If you don't know
the meme, you should know. Is that a meme? Is that what
it's a meme on Coyotes Twitter. You just got Carconed.
You got Carcone.
Anywho.
I'm happy for him because he's a guy that works really hard.
Yeah.
And
well, it's great to see what he did in the AHL translate because earlier in the summer, we thought, oh, he could be the extra forward. Like, where does he fit in? And he's kind of made a name for himself in this lineup since he got in. He, kind of got promoted to that third line. He's played on a line with Cooley. Obviously, with injuries, they've had to shuffle a lot. But you didn't really know what you were going to get from him. He's a little bit of a smaller player. And I think we're starting to see that offensive touch that he had in the American Hockey League translate here. Yeah.
He has really good hands, and he's got a nose for the net. And he gets the puck to the net. The one that ultimately gets the hat trick is, let's be honest, he flipped it from behind the net. It rolled off, hit the post, hit the goalie in the back, and goes in. But guess what? It counts. And I'm disappointed we didn't get to see hats of the Mullett.
I know.
If they were hats, and somebody made a comment in the chat earlier, if they would have been hats on the ice for that Carcone hat trick, would they have been Blackhawk hats?
There were a lot of Blackhawks fans. And I did just see a comment like, that has to be the last time we allow that many visiting fans. I saw some comments in our Discord too that a lot of the Blackhawks fans by people were Coyotes season fans. Ticket holders.
Yeah. And I've said this before. Because I think that's what the foundation of what PHNX is built on is we're trying to get that generation, the next generation of hockey fans and the next generation of baseball fans and Suns fans. I'm sorry, I grew up in Minnesota, so I wasn't a Phoenix sports fan. So I'm okay if you grow up in Chicago and Chicago Blackhawks are your team one night a year.
Yeah. And
the other 81, you're rooting for the Yotes. I'm okay with that. I really am. And I know there's a lot of people that say, no, that's not. It is. That's what we're trying to build here. So that, guess what? If you move out of the Phoenix area and the Coyotes come into the Boston Gardens, put on your Coyote jersey once a year.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. And I know some people were frustrated seeing all those Bedard jerseys tonight. I'm okay with it, but it can't be like it was at Gila River. Like Gila River, it was every game.
Well,
it was
and
like that.
the Blackhawks fans, they were amped in the beginning, but when you score 8 goals, it's like we left in the third period and there was traffic getting out because all the Blackhawks fans were leaving.
We can say that too. So if everybody on Montreal, that's on Thursday, if you want to wear Montreal jerseys and the score is 8-1 Coyotes, I don't care.
Yeah.
Right?
HK.
Yeah, wear yourself a Lafleur sweater. I don't care.
All right. Well, let's get into the numbers of this one. Should be very interesting. Obviously 8-1 final score, but the shots on goal were pretty even, 33-32 for the Coyotes. That just is a big yikes for the Blackhawks and their defense and goaltenders. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, they made a goaltending change. Absolutely tough night. Soderblom ended the night with a .682 save percentage, which is just yikes. But Coyotes were 1 for 4 on the power play. Blackhawks just 0 for 2, so they were able to stop Bedard in their power play. Blackhawks actually were the better faceoff team tonight, but it didn't seem to matter. But shot attempts, Blackhawks actually led the Coyotes 67-64 in shot attempts. But I think the Blackhawks are just not a very good team at all. We've talked about that before when we previewed the Central. And we can say that because the Coyotes have been this team. Like 2 years ago, this was the Coyotes. And they got Connor Bedard out of being bad. So they're going to have their really bad games. Coyotes have their really bad games. The game the other night was awful. So yeah, it just wasn't a very good team. So I know this wasn't like a perfect game, but it just feels, because in the beginning of the game when it was just 1-1, like Craig came over and he said, this just doesn't feel like that bounce back game that we were all expecting. And then it did. It
didn't. And we were concerned because we talked to Andre Tournier over the weekend and he's like, they were hard practices. They're supposed to get one of those 2 days off because there was Fan Fest.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't. They practiced both days. On Saturday, they practiced without taking shots on goalies, which means they got skated pretty hard on Saturday. Conversely, the Coyotes are practicing and in trouble. Conversely, Chicago gets in Friday after a big win in Vegas.
Crazy.
Landing at 6:30 in the afternoon. Guess what? You're on Mill Avenue in Old Town on Friday night with no practice the next day. Then what do you do Saturday? You go to the SU football game. So there were 2 different paths taken by those 2 clubs, and I think that really showed tonight. And I would put that's Mullett Magic to me. That is Montreal Canadiens are going to be here for 3 days. Rumor is there's the World Series in town, and I don't know if Montreal would like to try to go get sweet tickets. Let's see if we can hook that up and keep them out late at night on Mill Avenue. It makes a difference. It really does, and you can't just automatically turn a switch and go, I'm ready to play. In Chicago, I know Bedard gets that goal, but after that, they struggle to defend. It's a team that gives up a lot of goals. Soderblom, he's had a tough start to the season. Mrazek, when he's been in, he's been good, and he was the goal he was in when we beat Vegas. This was a bad night for Chicago, and they're going to go home feeling very bad about this against the Central Division team for sure. Because the reality is, it's not an 8-1 score. Like, it's not. It's much more even than that.
Yeah, the Coyotes scored 7 goals on 22 shots against Soderblom.
Yeah, it's 1 every 3.
Yeah,
like 1 every 3 shots was going in, and you're not going to get that consistently in this league. So take the win. It's great. It's a good feeling for this team to be able to leave.
It's a good feeling for me sitting here.
Oh my goodness! After the last 2,
after the last show was so miserable, and after the D-backs today. Sorry.
This show is considerably more fun today.
Yeah.
It so is.
I tell you, it was. And you know what? That's the other. We didn't have to watch the Diamondbacks. Like, we love watching the Diamondbacks, Daniel. Don't get me wrong. We love watching the Diamondbacks, but I'm not feeling that pain and sorrow that I felt.
I was there, Petey.
Oh, you were there, so you feel pain and sorrow.
That's okay. We're bringing the vibes up in this show.
Yes.
Caleb said every time the Yotes scored, a hot dog got its ketchup. Yes.
Oh, somebody in the press box came up to Craig S. Morgan.
It was Mike Gold, if you're watching.
That was Mike Gold?
Yeah.
Well, why didn't Mike Gold say hi? Mike Gold came up with a hot dog with ketchup on it.
And taunted Craig. All right.
He's sitting right next to Jen Ortiz in the press box. Why didn't he see? Because he doesn't look like his little cartoon head that he's got on his Twitter handle.
Yes, he does.
He does not look like that. I didn't recognize it. Sorry. Now I feel bad, Mike.
No, it's fine. All right, let's talk about Jack McBain, because besides having a Gordie Howe hat trick tonight, it was his 100th career NHL game. So an absolutely special night for him, because not only did he have the Gordie Howe hat trick, he had an extra goal to boot as well, like I mentioned earlier, bringing him into the lead, or the tied for the lead in goals for the Coyotes as of right now. And here's the crazy nugget, and this was shown on the TV, so thank you. I think it was Robin Leah who took a picture of her TV and tweeted this. So here's the nugget that I told you not to read. And I saw it in the chat already, but clearly you didn't read.
No.
This was the first time there were 2 Gordie Howe hat tricks in a game since February 3rd, 1988. Wow. Peter Taglianetti and Andrew McBain, father of Jack McBain.
The front door. That's not true.
Yes.
That is phenomenal.
Isn't that insane?
That's insane.
What the hell?
Somebody's got to
it's on Twitter. It's out there.
Somebody in the comments brought it up.
Yeah,
and I was like, that doesn't sound right.
No, it's true.
So I didn't put it up, but yeah,
no, it's true.
1988.
1988, and it was his dad. Like you can't script that.
You can't. That's a real thing.
Unbelievable.
That was the last one. He got 2 goals, 2 assists, plus 4 on 10 minutes of ice. He played 10 minutes.
Unreal.
The only player to play less time on ice than Jack McBain tonight was Liam O'Brien. How about that?
And he also had
Liam
a
O'Brien
Gordie Howe.
had 1 goal, 1 assist.
2 points, plus 4.
On 9 minutes.
7 pims. Oh, my Lord.
That's incredible. And again, good things happen when you drive the net. And I know this team, we talked about their ability to get that secondary scoring, and that's what you need to have happen. And it wasn't the Kraus Michelli Bukestad line. It was the Cooley line, and it was the McBain O'Brien line. So it's great to see it there. You look for those little signs of things of positivity, and that's another one, that they have secondary scoring from other people that can really help when other people are off. And we're still waiting patiently for number 92.
Yes, and we'll talk more about him when Craig comes on. But let's read some super chats. The first one is from Altex, who said, "At least the Yotes won on my birthday today." Altex shares a birthday.
15. Altex, does he look young?
Yes. Altex shares a birthday with Lindsay Fry. So happy birthday, Altex and Lindsay Fry. And Devin Booker's birthay's today, too.
True?
So it's the trifecta of birthdays.
You know I don't know stuff.
So, so at least the Yotes scored 1 on my birthday. Also, don't forget the 8-1 score, or don't let the 8-1 score distract you from the fact that Kerfoot got 3 assists. Yes, Altex, he absolutely did.
And the Kerfoot sweater.
His first 3 assists, first 3 points of the season.
Yeah.
So pretty good night for him.
And Altex was sporting the Kerfoot jersey.
Yeah, that was for you, Altex. Kerfoot said, "You know what? It's his birthday.
Yeah.
I have to."
I heard that.
Especially since Zach Cassian retired and your new favorite player really had to step it up. Okay, now we have an $8.01 super chat from Charles, always with the creative numbers, 8 to 1. Didn't know you could build a snowman in Tempe in October, but the Yotes sure
Took me a minute to get that. Did you get it?
No.
The 8 is a snowman.
I thought that's what it was.
See, I didn't get it at first, but he's smarter than us, though. He's very clever, smart guy.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, we still have so much to talk about. It feels like Craig is getting ready to call in. But before he does, I'll tell you all about Arizona's Family Sports, because that is the place to watch the Phoenix Suns this season. You got to watch the first Arizona's Family Sports broadcast this past Saturday for the home opener, which is really awesome.
They play again tomorrow.
They do play again tomorrow. But
San Antonio. The
next game you can watch on Arizona's Family Sports is Thursday against the San Antonio Spurs at 7 p.m. You can see the game on Arizona's Family 3 TV and Arizona's Family Sports Channel 44. So if you already have your antenna for the Coyotes, you can watch the Suns just as easily wherever you live in Arizona. Visit azfamily.com and click Suns Games for listing information for your area. It's a great resource to help you find your Phoenix Suns games on Arizona Family Sports. Normally, PD, like a post game like last time, we would have said, "Oh, we need an OGs after that one." Mm-hmm. This one, like, I need an OGs to come down later.
I know,
and maybe get to sleep tonight. So I'm gonna need the sleep edition gummy tonight. But our friends at OGs are amazing, and we have a really exciting thing to say about OGs. So you can head to ZenLeafDispensaries.com.
Okay.
Find your closest location.
Okay.
Order your favorite OG's gummy for pickup.
I'm with you.
Enter discount code PHNX at checkout.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll get 25% off any OG's products.
Shut the front door. 25% off?
Yes.
That's a good deal.
That's better than our last promo code, by the way. So this deal is exclusive to our PHNX listeners. And as a reminder, it's available only for online pickup orders. Discount code PHNX is active until November 30th. So you have a full month to take advantage of this. And if you've never had OG's, try them because they're phenomenal. That? Yes, I'll send you
Thank
this.
you.
Yeah. I know you've been trying to go swing by the dispensary.
Yeah,
so Zen Leaf dispensaries, that's where you get this. Yeah, but Sleep Edition,
PHNX.
Microdose, Happy Balance,
25% off.
Indica, Sativa, amazing flavors.
Sleep. Yep, I'm in. Let's go.
All right, well, it's time to bring in the one and only Craig S. Morgan to the show.
When are we getting
Craig?
Escalator, Craig?
Got a pipe behind me tonight. A little pipe action.
Yeah.
Not a great shot. Shot. Might have to choose a different suite next time.
You didn't have time to sort that out?
No. I actually didn't give it any thought, buddy.
Okay.
So Craig, last postgame you said that was the shortest postgame availability ever, probably one of the most awkward and uncomfortable. How is this in comparison?
Well, Patrick Brown and I were just walking up the stairs, and he said, when I asked a question about Michael Carcone, he said, "Congratulations on getting the longest Andre Tourigny response ever." And it was long. But Andre was obviously in a good mood tonight. I started the post game by asking, or the interview session after Todd Walsh had finished, of course, because they ask a lot of questions for TV because of the rights holders. I asked him about that practice the morning after, which the players in the locker room that we spoke to, Carcone and McBain, described as simple. Andre Tourigny described it as the only practice in NHL history in which there were pucks but no goals because there were no shots. The goalies were perfect because basically they practiced getting pucks out of zones and getting pucks into zones. He sent a message to him, obviously, with that practice, making him come back the next day after that LA collapse. They had FanFest. Petey and I attended that. They had practice again the next day, and then they come out and play the Blackhawks. I think he got the response that he needed. Obviously, they started a little slowly here, the Connor Bedard goal, and they were a little sloppy early, but they get that one goal, and then from there, they were off to the races. This is what the Coyotes needed after that LA collapse. Things are back on track now, and they needed it also because they're going to have a very busy week. So we'll see how things go from here on out, but they got back on track tonight.
Petey, this is normally when you say something, so I turn to you.
Oh,
and now it's just silent.
I was trying to find something, and I can't find it on the computer. Darn
We're
it.
not snapping it around like the Coyotes.
No, they were snapping it around. So, Craig, we were talking about Michael Carcone and the walking and talking bump, which we thought is real, but I was talking about their ability to get to the net. So was Andre happy with the effort tonight? I know when we talked to him this week, he said it wasn't about the effort. I'm not so sure. Was he happier tonight?
Oh yeah, he absolutely, he was happy. Like I said, they were a little sloppy earlier, and he thought early on in this game, the LA game had left some scars on their confidence. He didn't think they were playing as confidently, and then the Bedard goal comes immediately, and he thought that almost compounded it. That he thought the first goal was really important for the Coyotes, and then they started getting things going. Yeah, he liked their compete level, he liked their work level tonight, and I hear what you're saying, Petey, because I had the same reaction when he said, didn't really have much trouble with the effort. I thought they got outworked by LA for 2.5 periods in that game, and I think it was pretty easy for everybody to see that. So they turned things around. And listen, I'm a Chicago guy, but if you're going to pick an opponent to get in a response game against, I'd probably pick the Blackhawks because, man, they just don't even bother defending the net. They don't bother defending the Royal Road. I don't know how many passes made their way across the seam. This is an atrocious defensive hockey team.
Yeah, and we talked about that too, though. Like the goaltender gets pulled, and he gave up 7 on 22. But honestly, like there were only a couple that weren't really nice goals. I know
there were a few that he had no chance.
Yeah. And to Craig's point, they weren't defending anything.
Yeah.
I felt bad. I felt bad. Well, not really, but now here's the concern though: is you don't want it's 8-1, and you've got to play again on Wednesday night. And you got to put this one behind you. As much as you got to put the LA one behind you, you have to put this one behind you too, because you can't go into Anaheim going, "Oh, look at us. We had 8-1." You know, I don't know if this is an 8-1 game, and it's not going to be an 8-1 game against the Ducks either. So it's buckle up the bootstraps and get back at it before you play again Wednesday.
I do think though, when you look at I hesitate to say this because you just never know in this league, especially early in the season. And the Ducks are actually playing pretty well right now. but at least they have some games where you can say, yeah, those are winnable games. I know it's a tough stretch here. They got a back-to-back, and then they play again Saturday, I believe. So it's a tough week for them, but I think they can make some hay, or maybe even get a little bit over 500.
Craig, we kind of touched on this at the beginning of the show before you got here, but how bizarre is it that of all the forwards to get points tonight, Hayton, Schmaltz, and Keller were not among them?
Yeah, and I think Keller and Schmaltz were like a -1 tonight, and really when you watch the game, you just didn't notice them, and that's for the second straight game, to be honest, because those guys didn't have any zone time in the LA game. So I'm not sure if that's a concern yet. I'm sure Chicago was focusing on taking that one line out, but yeah, it's really weird to have the Coyotes explode for 8 goals and not have either of those guys on the score sheet. And then you look at some of the contributions, like Liam O'Brien, whose goal I still don't think was a goal, by the way, but it's Liam O'Brien, so we're going to give it up for him. Jack McBain chips in, Michael Carcone. If you want to have
Josh
success
Brown.
in the NHL, thank you, Josh Brown. Yes, if you want to have success in the NHL, you need secondary scoring. I mean, this was. Oh, P is going to kill me for this term when I drop it, but I'm going to say it anyway. The Coyotes had tertiary scoring tonight.
That seems like a charter school.
Yeah. I went to prep school.
Prep school, there it is. Yeah.
Jeez. Tertiary. Yeah, other guys scored. Can you just say that? Other guys
secondary scoring. Depth scoring.
Some other guys scored too, see? Yeah, that's what we said at Bemidji High. I think
it's a bummer though, because Keller and Schmaltz had 4-game point streaks going into tonight. So those end. Michelli's continues. So Michelli's on a 5-game point streak.
And it's funny because you expect guys like that when you it's almost like blood in the water for sharks when you see guys scoring points like that. Guys like Keller and Schmaltz are like, yeah, I want on the score sheet too. And Craig, I didn't get that feeling. I don't like. Schmaltz had 1 shot. Hayton had 1 shot. You're like, So the good news is they did have that secondary scoring. The bad news is I wanted to see those guys pitch in. So hopefully as the week continues, you get to see that line. You need the secondary scoring, but that line has to drive the offense for this team.
Yeah, agreed. And listen, again, it's just 2 games, so I don't want to make a big deal out of it yet. If they go into a little slump here, you'll start to wonder about it. The other elephant in the room, guys, and I know we're all thinking about it at this point. He's putting up a lot of assists, but
yeah.
When are we going to see that first Logan Cooley goal just to break the ice?
We thought we might have had it on that the third Carcone goal. That's why there were no hats. Again, I feel so bad that there were no hats for him. But nobody in the arena knew who scored the goal. And they never showed the replay on the Jumbotron, so nobody could throw a hat in after the fact. But yeah, it's a bummer, especially when Bedard scores 28 seconds and you're thinking, oh God, he has to score tonight. And luckily, the first goal of the night, he had an assist on. So it kept them even. We actually have their season stats compared that we can look at right here. So Bedard's played 1 more game than Cooley. He's played 9. Cooley's played 8. But in Bedard's 9 games, he has 4 goals, 2 assists for 6 points. And Cooley's 8 games, he has 0 goals, 6 assists for 6 points. Bedard's also averaging 3 extra minutes more time on ice.
Yeah, and that's Bedard's their number 1 center, and he's the first guy over the boards all the time in every situation, and Cooley just isn't. I mean, it's the Hayton Schmaltz Keller line they're jumping over first. He's getting more power play time than he did early, and so I think that's helping get that up. I thought tonight, Craig, was the first time that you go, okay, he's getting shot attempts. He's making offensive plays. I know I looked at the score sheet and I'm surprised he had 1 shot on net. I felt there was at least 3 or 4, but he had 6 total attempts. So I guess they were just missing the net or blocked. But I felt it's coming. I felt he was closer today. Yeah,
and he's got to find the net. Listen, I'm sure it's not all that important to the people of this organization. I know it's important to Logan Cooley, but if he wants to stay in the Calder race, he can't be Matthias Michelli 2.0, right? It can't just be all assists. You just got to score goals. Those are sexy. That's what people care about. And listen, let's be honest here. Connor Bedard has a head start on him anyway in the voting already because he's Connor Bedard and he's also Canadian.
What does that have to do with it? Come on.
Well, it has a lot to do with it, actually, when it comes down to voting, as I found as a PHWA member. But let's move on.
Did you see All Gas's comment? You talk about Jack McBain, if you have a 9-category fantasy league where you're talking about hits and fights and points, he is a penalty minutes.
I'm gonna go see if he's available in my league.
Yeah, like he's a guy you could get late, and he checks all the boxes. Like when you look at a guy that's active and you look at your stat line, what you don't want to see is zeros. McBain doesn't have zeros anywhere. Like he's a busy guy tonight.
He's a free agent in my league.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm sure you guys already talked about the fact that he did this. His dad was the last guy to do this.
We did.
In a double, yeah, and that's cool. And we asked him about that as well.
Did he know that stat?
Somebody told him right as he came off the ice, and that's when he found out. And he said he was going to talk to his dad right after the game. And I told him to let his dad know that even though they both did it, Jack's stat line was better than his dad's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it was. I mean, it had an impressive night. There were some impressive games tonight. And before we move on from Liam O'Brien, I should mention that as well. We already know that Andre Tourigny loves Liam O'Brien from his days in Rwanda. He just loves the way the guy approaches the game. He works at his game. He plays within the structure. He goes all out. I know there are some people who wonder sometimes why Liam O'Brien is in the lineup some nights. Andre Tourigny has such trust in this guy. He's going to be a regular. He's going to be a regular in this Coyotes lineup.
Well, and he brings something that nobody else brings. And I know O'Brien can fight, McBain can fight, but they don't play like Liam O'Brien does. He just has a little bit of a different swagger when he's on the ice. And I tell you what, the opponents know when he's out there because you got to keep your head up when Liam, because he's coming. He might end up with 2 minutes and sit in the penalty box, but you be aware. And I think that little bit of sandpaper is something that not only Andre Tourigny likes, but GM Bill Armstrong likes too, that little bit of edge that O'Brien brings.
Yep.
So one thing we already talked about is there's now a 4-way tie for goals on this team between Keller, McBain, Durzi, and Carcone. But one thing we didn't mention with Sean Durzi's goal tonight, because I feel like the guys who only scored one goal are getting lost. It's like, they only had one. We don't need to talk about them. But Sean Durzi, his fourth of the season, again, he's a defenseman, and his goal tonight ties the NHL goal scoring for among defensemen. So he's now tied with NHL defensemen for most goals. So
Drew Doughty and Jacob Chikrin, the vampire.
The vampire. But just very impressive for Durzi. Continues to find offense. It's really great to see. I feel like we're seeing what we want to see from Sean Durzi. So great.
Yeah, no question.
Well, and you know what? He not only do you provide the opportunity, he's got a very, very good shot. Like, and it's not necessarily the hardest shot, but he has got accuracy from the point. He waits for the traffic there and he can pick spots. But he distributes the puck extremely well. And on the power play, we didn't see the power play zipping it around like they had in some other games. I know they were 1 for 4, but this was a huge pickup for this team because an offensive defenseman is something since Chikrin left. They needed to fill that hole, and Durzi is doing it in spades.
Yep.
All right, Craig, is there anything else from the game specifically you want to talk about while you're here? Or are you ready to move on?
Yeah, let's move on. I think I know where you're going here. Yeah.
So we want to talk about the reason that Petey and I actually had to listen to half of the third period on the radio, which is that we stayed a little bit extra because tonight was Rich Nairn's last game working with the Arizona Coyotes after a 27-year career with the team as the executive vice president of communications and broadcasting. I'll throw it to you guys because you've known him for a really, really long time. Obviously, Craig and I talked about this a little bit in Australia when we found out that he would be stepping down from his role. But
I think I said my piece. Yeah. I think I said my piece from Australia. That was a pretty long recorded piece, and that's I said everything that I feel about Rich. He's a true pro. I can't even imagine this place, PD, without him. And I know you're close friends with him as well. I can't even imagine coming to a Coyotes practice game and not seeing Richie Nairn. He's a staple, and he's been so important to my career. I was a really young guy. He helped shepherd me, helped me learn the ropes. He was very young at the time too. Man, if you saw some of the photos that they brought in tonight, it was crazy to look at how much we've all aged. It's kind of depressing, actually.
Petey had very long hair in one of the photos.
In one of them. I looked really good too. You know what?
I didn't see that one.
So, I don't recall which show it was when you were in Australia, but we'll have to dig that up, and we need to tweet that tomorrow again. That just let people know where to find that, because that summed up how important Rich is to this organization and what's happened here over the past 3 decades. He's been through so much, just like Coyote fans have been up and down for Rich is the guy that's got to put out the press releases on those ups and downs, and he's the one that's got to be in the board meetings on those ups and downs. And it's not all sunshine and roses working in professional sports, and sometimes you have to deal with difficult situations. And he's done it with grace and style. And I tell you what, he is extremely well liked across North America hockey and through Canada and the US. He is going to be missed. I can't imagine going to the rink and not seeing him in the back row. It's different, and I know from his perspective, he's going to take some time. He's going to focus on his family. We saw his kids and his wife at the game tonight, and he gets the chance to enjoy them and watch them grow up. And I know all of us that are involved in sports, you miss things. Craig's kids miss things. My son missed things. I'm so grateful for Rich and his family that he's getting a chance to step away on his terms and spend time with his family. So whatever he does, if he will be successful, even if it's just being a dad and taking his kids to soccer practice. So I wish him all the best, and I can't wait to sit down and have a cup of coffee with him again.
Yeah, and I don't want to analyze this too much, but I wonder sometimes if Rich knows his true worth. I think he's about to find that out in the professional world. I think he'll be able to write his own ticket a lot of places because he has an incredible resume, so many experiences. And as we know, Petey, and I said this in Australia as well, half the job for Rich Nairn, and it's not a normal job when you handle this role for the Coyotes. Half of it's damage control, and he's done it, as you said, with grace, and he's somehow managed to just buoy the spirits of the staff through all the crap that they've had to deal with in this organization. So really, really going to miss Richie Nairn.
Yeah, I know I'm laughing here, but I'm just in my mind, I'm rolling through movies of Rich Nairn stories and whatever you do. But by the way, don't ever ask him to tell you a story because pack a lunch because you're buckled in. Like no, and no. Let me tell you, no, Rich, I know that part. I literally was there, Rich. No, but let me tell you. Oh, my God. We got a picture on the wall. You didn't see it, Craig. There's a picture of Rick Bronstein, the old travel guy, and he's sitting in a chair. I should have pointed it out to you. He's sitting in a chair, and he's putting his hand in his head, and Rich has got a phone in his face trying to tell him a story going, Rich, I know. I was there. And he goes, no. Oh, he'll be missed. Congratulations, Rich, and we wish you the best.
Yeah, and listen, at some point, we're going to drag Rich onto the show. We got to get him in just to tell stories.
Agreed.
So we'll get him in the studio at some point.
Yep.
Absolutely. And all I'll say is thank you, Rich, for everything in my couple short years in this space.
Yeah,
he's been nothing but
I tell you what, for you,
kind.
He was great to you.
Yep.
Hope you learned the ropes.
Yep. So thank you, Rich, and congratulations and good luck on your next steps. Craig, you have your mailbag coming tomorrow. Go PHNX.com.
I thought that's a Monday thing.
Nah. I do it whenever I want, Petey. I don't know if you know how this works.
You have no... That's typical.
I think
no
you're
rules.
just thinking about Mailbag Monday, because Mailbag Monday is a thing, but
it's a thing
for
the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
So, and that's what people can look forward to on the show tomorrow, Leah. We're going to pick some of the questions like we always do.
Do you know it's Halloween?
We might have a Halloween segment. Petey, you're going to have to send photos.
It's Halloween.
You're going to have to send photos.
Yeah, I know.
The completed yard. We're going to have to see what it looks like.
Halloween.
And by the way, when do they judge? When does
the judging? I don't know. It has already taken place. Usually my wife's on top of it, but we had some things, and so she couldn't. I don't know, but that'll be awarded tomorrow. So we'll see.
Hopefully before the show.
I will be in my driveway watching the World Series. Please don't ring my doorbell because I don't talk to kids. Don't come close to me. We put the candy. Can we talk about this real brief? I put the candy on the sidewalk. Like, do you have the sidewalk? I sit at my garage with the beer. I will have the World Series on and stay the hell away from me. So I don't want to get up and down. So I just sit in the chair, and there's a thing with candy and a light, and it says grab some. And I'm there to supervise the grabbing, so there's not egregious grabbing. But I don't want to look at, your costume's cute. Bullshit. No, who cares? You're 8. Like, what are you? Who cares?
Okay, the funny thing is we're all laughing, but he's had this rant every year. This is the third year I've heard this exact rant. This is the third year. Like, we can
And they have to make small talk with their parents. Like, HK. Well, I don't know you and you live in my neighborhood. If I knew you, I'd care.
You would hate being at my house then, because my wife is this bizarre contradiction of scaring the hell out of the kids as they come through the courtyard, and you'll see that on video tomorrow, and then doing exactly what you're talking about, talking to the parents, talking to the kids, and I'm just like, just let them go. And I like it. I like looking at the kids' costumes, but I don't want to have a 20-minute conversation with every trick-or-treater.
See the video tomorrow. Craig, if you're like, I under 10 years old, I wouldn't go near their house. It's horrific. It's terrifying. Like, what is she thinking? Like, most trick-or-treaters are between 5 and 9. I wouldn't even let my 9-year-old go there. Terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. You're thinking, as a parent, you walk up to my house and you're thinking, what's wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? They must hate kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. It's all fun.
All right, we'll get into this more tomorrow, Craig.
Right.
We'll see you then, and have a good night.
All right, guys. See you.
All right, bye, Craig. Good Lord, I've heard this exact. Right,
I know. I can't help it. That's my gut feel, man, and it's true. It's not. It's true.
I believe you. Oh boy.
But you can't turn the lights out because then people egg your house.
Right.
You read your house egged?
No.
I did. Surprised?
No.
Can't imagine why people.
Yeah, exactly. A surprise to no one.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh my God. I don't even know how to
don't know.
transition out of that. Yesterday, Sunday, was the first ever Cardinals watch party at Gila River.
Oh yeah.
And I heard it was an unbelievable success. It's an amazing, amazing place. And you can hang out for every home game, which is really fun at Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass. So we'll be out there.
We drive by that every
for
time.
every home game. Yeah. So it's really, really cool. Stop by next time. And while you're at it, while you're looking up Gila River, you can check out their Big Red Showdown. You can win $1 million. $1
million?
$1 million Big Red Showdown. So visit GilaMillion-Showdown.com to get in on the action and for more information on Gila River Resorts and Casinos and all they have to offer, head to play@Gila.com. I don't know about you, Petey.
I feel good.
You do you.
You do you. I mean, Leah, I like it here so much at PHNX. If I won $1 million, I'd still show up.
I know.
It's a true story.
If you won the $1 million,
yes,
and you quit,
yeah,
would you send us some Four Peaks beer?
Buddy, boy howdy.
I think you can buy us a lot of beer.
Yeah, and I would get on Max and have that fridge full too. Max is
Derek is
the Diamondbacks and the Rising.
No, that's just Max and his friends.
They're wrestling.
Why are the D-backs? Why is Derek still here?
Because the D-backs, they need to be here as long as possible on the night of the postgame.
Okay.
Anyway, Four Peaks. I've been loving the pumpkin
Peaks.
Porter, especially in October. For you and your driveway tomorrow, pumpkin porter is probably the beer. I know you're not a big porter person, but
I usually go on Halloween. It's usually Wow and Kilt Liquor.
Yeah,
but I could do pumpkin porter.
Yeah, pumpkin porter, it's great. And if you haven't been to Four Peaks during this time of year, it's a great place to go. You can visit fourpeaks.com/locator to find all your favorite brewery tours and events. Steinholding, Oktoberfest, and Haunted Brewery tours are right around the corner. You can check out at Four Peaks Brew or Boo, okay, or at Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. You must be 21 or older to drink Four Peaks. Please drink responsibly.
There you go.
Okay, we have something new. I hope people are still here because.
And this is if it is what I think it is.
It is.
This is going to be much better on YouTube.
Yes. So if you're listening on audio,
we don't know where this came from. We don't even know who this is.
Yeah. So we talk about Mullett Magic all the time. Yes. Last year we talked about Mullett Magic, and we saw it tonight. We really did.
We saw Mullett Magic. That was Mullett Magic.
But there might be a little more to Mullett Magic than we even know. So let's take a look. I'm Leah Merrill with PHNX. The Coyotes win another home game. It's time for some Mullett Magic.
It's a time for some more magic. We look at the dice and we say the magic words. Abra Carcone! Whoa! It's Mullett Magic.
Join the PHNX postgame show after every Coyotes game and see the Mullett Magician after every Coyotes home win. I'm Leah, and this is PHNX.
What a handsome
The Mullett Magician!
The masked
who is he?
The masked Mullett Magician.
We must uncover who it is.
Don't know who it is. Can't tell.
And I love that it was Carcone.
Carcone.
What are the odds?
Who knew?
Oh my goodness. So good news for everybody. After every
Yes.
home win, the Mullett Magician will unveil a new trick.
More tricks.
So
Maybe we can unmask this character. I don't know if anybody can.
I don't
Miss
know
Marple.
who he possibly could
Miss
be.
Marple, Murder She Wrote, can't figure this one out.
That wasn't Petey Lucas. We don't know who that was.
It was. He had a mask on. It's like Superman and Clark Kent. You can't tell. Take off the glasses.
Oh my goodness.
But Mullett Magic is real.
It is.
That's all I'll say.
Even if half the crowd is Blackhawks fans.
Yeah, doesn't matter. It's
Doesn't
real.
matter. Still real.
Doesn't real.
Oh my
So
goodness.
they're 2-1 at home now, right?
Yes.
Yes, 2-1.
2-1 at home. Winning record. They really needed this. They have how many more? They have two more home games this week.
Yeah.
So actually, let's look at the upcoming
Let's look at the
schedule.
schedule.
Why do I need to put myself through this? Let's look at the upcoming schedule. They head to Anaheim tomorrow after practice for Wednesday's game against the Ducks. Again, like Craig mentioned, winnable game. Anaheim, they have been playing well. They beat Pittsburgh tonight, but they're headed to Anaheim, and then they're back home at Mullett Thursday. The Canadians are in town, another kind of struggling team. And then Saturday, it's a matinee against the Winnipeg Jets, a 1:00 game before. And then they're home all weekend, which is great, before taking on Seattle the following Tuesday.
And for the first time we can say this, those games, there's some winnable games here. I think the Anaheim game, they've competed extremely well against that team in preseason and in regular season. Montreal, and same thing I said about Chicago. Montreal's here. And they're off for several days. And I'm telling you what, you live in Montreal and you've been to Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little chillier there than it is here right now. You get here and it's 75, 80 degrees and it's hard.
Like the Blackhawks.
It's hard to not do things and get out of your hotel, and it's hard to stay focused on hockey. I'm just telling you, that Montreal that's a tough game for the Montreal Canadiens. I know the Coyotes are coming on a back-to-back on the West Coast, so it's going to be a late night. They'll take them following morning off. I like that game. I think they can I think they can get 2 wins there. Winnipeg's a good team. Rick Bowness is going to have that team focused on that Saturday afternoon game. That's going to be a tough game, that matinee game. But Seattle's another team that wowed in the playoffs last year, that they're not off to the start they were hoping for.
And then St. Louis later in the week, and the
That's
Coyotes dominated St. Louis earlier this year.
So we're not going to check in on the standings today. But when they get through those set of games, so that's 5 games, they get through that 5-game set. Now we're at 13, 14 games. Yeah, we're going to take a peek at the schedule. And once you get to 20 games, it's for real. Like this could be an interesting year. And I know that when they got beat in the home game the other day, like, oh, this team can't make the playoffs. Oh,
right after we did a whole show about whether or not they could make the playoffs.
It is possible. They can make the playoffs.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Ash said Cooley owns the Ducks' first goal inbound. Chat, I'm really curious, looking at the upcoming schedule, Ducks, Canadians, Jets,
Winnipeg,
Seattle, and St. Louis. Which of those games do you think Logan Cooley could get his first NHL goal in? Because at this point, I thought it would have already happened. Like, I would have said the first week of the season.
Yes.
We're past that point, so I'm curious what everybody thinks. So drop in the chat when you
Can I talk to the chat again?
Yes, you may.
So, and again, if you don't like, there are a lot of people that don't like me. I know, again, big surprise face, but there's people that dislike me. But we have 2 thumbs down. So would you please?
Yeah,
no,
you're very upset about
that. The first
that.
one started with the music. Like, do they not like our music? Like, we hadn't even started yet.
The countdown was going in.
And
by the way, like, what we can see here, when we get a thumbs up, it's like a little emoji on the screen.
Yes.
And when there's a thumbs down, it's a little thing and it pops out. So we see it.
Yes.
So we see the thumbs up and they make us very happy.
It makes us happy.
So we would appreciate if you could give us a thumbs up.
#diehards.
Yes. Anyway,
Okay.
let us know.
Sorry.
Again in the chat. Coyotes Duck said Habs. Charles says, I think he does it in Anaheim. Joel says, let's talk about the offs. More Petey walking and talking. Also, let us know who you want to see on the next walking and talking in the chat as well.
So, yeah, we got to find out who's next.
The only thing is you did walk and talk with Krause before the season, and he's kind of had a cold start.
And
so maybe it only
Cooley
applies
in season.
You should maybe you should do Cooley
again. Maybe we should do Cooley again.
But because that was the summer. That was before he committed to coming
I hadn't even
here.
signed yet.
Yeah. A-Root says Ducks. That's all that's so far. Nick said drops like. Thank you. Ducks, if not Montreal. I'd love it to be Anaheim, but our goalies are pretty dialed in lately. Oh, Coyotes Ducks is a Ducks fan, I think. Anywho, very, very interesting.
Yeah,
Montreal.
Gibson's been good.
Hopefully it comes this week. I really want it.
They got a big overtime win in Boston. Anaheim in Boston.
Anaheim has been winning some crazy games. Who is a good stylistic goalie matchup for Kohler to get his first
I thought it would have been tonight against Soderblom. I thought that was a really good matchup.
Everybody else scored against
Gibson.
Sorry,
Gibson's,
buddy.
Yeah, the Anaheim's goalie. I try to think who they got on. Yeah, Hellebuck's not a good matchup for Logan Cooley in his first one ever. So
No, Nick said
we'll
walking
see.
and talking with Hayden. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
that'd be fun.
I'll throw it out there and see who wants to go on.
Well,
That's
just
what
say,
I'm gonna do.
listen, I walked and talked with Carcone,
Oh,
and he scored a
right.
hat trick and had an assist. Who's next? And they're
Who's
gonna
next?
be knocking on your door.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
We need somebody to let Carcone know that it's a little walking and talking bump.
And we need to let Carcone know that people did try to throw their hats, like Roaring Fork, who in this $4.99 super chat said, I actually threw my hat for Carcone's hattie, but it landed in the scorer's table. My most epic failure ever. No, I appreciate the effort.
The farthest row is 13 rows Roaring Fork. Like, it's not like it's 3-tiered stadium, but it's Mullett. Oh my.
Oy, oy, oy. McBain walking and talking would be fun.
Oh.
I feel like it'd be
Haven't
cool
done
to
that.
learn more about
That'd
him.
be good.
I don't really know a lot about him.
I don't either.
So
Yeah, maybe.
that could be fun. Well, let's round it out by looking at the punch card because we felt
Yes.
bad the other day. I'm feeling a lot better. 4-4 feels a lot better
Yes.
than what was it before? What's math?
Oh, Gibson got hurt in Pittsburgh. It's coming.
4 and 3, 3 and 4.
3 and 4. I was like, I was that meme of the math
What do you-
going by that girl's head.
What's wrong? It's 4 and 4.
I said, what was it before? It was 4 and 4. I couldn't think of
Couldn't
it.
think of 3 or 4.
3
No,
and 4.
couldn't think of that. That's that U of A education coming through again.
Bear down.
And we're almost finished with our first row of 9.
Yes, only one more, and then we have a whole row done.
Yeah. Could we call Sean DePaz and ask him why 9 and not 10?
Yes,
Okay.
you can.
When are we going to announce what Sean DePaz is doing?
This week.
That's what we for sure.
No, we think.
We think this week.
Punch card pattern. Charles is the king of this. 2 wins, 2 losses.
There you go. So yeah.
And Coyotes Ducks wants to see Durzi on Walking and Talking.
Ooh, we talked to Durzi. We've interviewed Durzi. We haven't walked
He's
and talked to
extremely
him.
charismatic.
He wants to
he'd
talk,
be good.
but
Yeah.
he wants in.
Yeah, he for sure would. It's funny because you almost walked and talked with him the other day,
on
and
accident.
then in the last minute you were like, "No, I'm gonna do Carcone."
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was both of
Yeah.
them. We had them both teed up.
Yeah.
And I did Carcone.
Yeah. Crazy.
Crazy. And if you haven't watched it, watch it it is because I think that particular walking and talking.
It was amazing.
So many guys got involved and photobombed, and you really starting to see personalities on that. And I think that you get a look behind the curtain.
Yep.
So if you haven't, jump onto the YouTube and check it out. I know we reposted it about 10 times tonight. So
Absolutely. Well, next time PD walks and talks, you can know that on BetMGM, you should take that person as
Yes.
an anytime point in the following
Agreed.
game. Because it's just science. That's just how it works. So you can win some money over at BetMGM. If you bet the over in tonight's game, if you bet the Coyotes money line or puck line, you would have won yourself some coin over at BetMGM. And if you haven't signed up yet, you can do so using the bonus code PHNX. Place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through the BetMGM Sportsbook mobile application of at least $10, and you receive $200 instantly in additional winnings regardless of your wager's outcome. You can check out the show notes for full details. And now listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., New York, or Ontario.
All right. Last thing. What a time to become a diehard. There's a lot of excitement around the Coyotes right now. I think we're still trying to figure out what kind of team they're going to be.
Yep.
But either way, we talk hockey all day, every day in our Discord. So if you haven't become
and
a
other
diehard,
things too.
yes, join our Discord. It's a lot of fun. If you're in a diehard thinking, I need to get in the Discord, just go on your diehard profile on the website and they'll click on the member lounge and you can join our Discord there. But becoming a diehard also gets you 20% off merchandise such as the 92C shirt, the the Logan Cooley shirt. We'll just say it for what it is. And I think if the more people who buy the shirt, the closer he'll get to scoring goal. Just saying.
Agreed.
And if you order, mine's on the way. I got the shipping notification that it's on the way.
They were supposed to ship till November 6th.
Well, I got a thing. It's on the way today.
Fire.
I don't know if that's true or not, but
I don't know.
I got the notification.
Maybe just
So you can get that 20% off. Or if you're not a diehard, you can claim that as your free shirt when you sign up, because you get a free shirt or hat every year at sign up, as well as access to diehard only content on the site, such as Craig's mailbag, which comes tomorrow.
Tomorrow, not Monday.
No, not Monday. It comes tomorrow. It's for diehards only, as well as his prospect reports and some other things as well. So it's extremely worth it to become a diehard. It pays for itself pretty much in the first week.
And we drop
nuggets. You can ask Petey, who is literally an NHL coach, anything, and he'll answer. He's done like special drawings for just the Discord.
We got to do another one of those soon. We got to do one in October. I didn't do it in September.
Yeah, we need to do another diehard hangout. We'll definitely plan one. So absolutely. So just a lot of reasons to become a diehard. We hope you join the family and join us at all of our PHNX Cardinals home and away watch parties.
Fantastic.
We have this Sunday at BetMGM for the away. Home the following week is at Halo River Wild Horse Pass. So just know anytime there's a home or away game, we have an event for Cardinals.
Good thing.
So check the show notes for more details on that. But that's going to do it for us. Felt good.
Yeah, it did. It did. You know what? Andre Tournier put this team to task over the weekend. He had 2 practices on days that they thought were going to get off. They worked extremely hard, and they played the right team at the right time. And I think that helped get them back on track. Now, the interesting thing is going to be see how they fill out the week. You take on Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. Winnipeg's a tough game. You got the back-to-backs. Let's see if they can carry this momentum in for the remainder of the week. And then I think we'll start to get an idea of what this team really is, because I don't know if we know yet, because they've been so up and down. So hopefully and then they can continue this, and then this is the Coyotes team that we're going to see over the rest of the season.
I just have one more nugget that I just found before we wrap up. Fewest goals before first hat trick in Coyotes Jets history. Michael Carcone comes in at 7th.
There's more that.
Peter Mueller had 1 goal.
1 goal.
Michael Gunting had 2. Teemu Selanne had 2. Stu Barnes had 2.
Old timey.
David Christian had 3.
Winnipeg.
Dale Hawerchuk had 4.
Winnipeg.
And Carcone had 7.
So if you go to Coyotes, that would be Mueller, Bunting, Carcone.
So crazy. Wow. I love those little nuggets.
That's a great nugget.
Great nugget. Thank you, NHL, for that one.
Thank you, NHL.
Well, we appreciate you all for watching, sincerely. Again, if you we just saw and it just made us so happy. Yeah. So continue to hit the like button. And if you're listening on audio, if you prefer to listen on audio, totally understand. Absolutely. Subscribe, leave us a review there. I like going and reading the reviews. Leave us a 5-star review. It helps boost us so we can reach more Coyotes fans.
Yes, it does.
That's all we want to do is
and
reach more
Fork,
Coyotes
ETA, it says, I looked into it today, was shipping November 6th. So
Sean's new job is at the ALLCITY shirt factory doing the new shirts.
Yeah.
That's a great guess, blatantly.
Great guess, but
wrong. We'll be live tomorrow at 2 p.m. Again, our non-game day showtime is now 2 p.m. Arizona time, so we'll be live diving deeper into some of those mailbag questions and probably having more Halloween debates. Craig and I may or may not dress up, so you'll have to tune in to find out. And be sure to subscribe to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss when we go live. And you can follow us on Twitter at SPetersHockey. I'm at Leah Merrill. Craig's at Craig S. Morgan. Danielle's at Abracadanielle. And you can follow the show at PHNX_Coyotes. Enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. Enjoy this win, and we'll see everybody tomorrow at 2 p.m.
We all silly like the mayor.